You want me to put that on my Tudor?
This one's wife. She's not going away. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. This one's wife is very much the unflushable turd. You really do wish such a foul individual would go away, disappear around a U-bend, but she doesn't. Why? Why is it that she won't just vanish? Why is it that she won't embrace the privacy that she purportedly seeks? Why is it, given the fact that nobody's actually interested in partnering with her, nobody's interested in signing her up for a fashion house, none of the cosmetics giants want to give her a gig, nobody's going to engage in her in Bodyguard 2, nobody wants to take her on in a role as an ambassador for their brand or organisation, why doesn't she just slink away and stop appearing on your screens? Why is it that she continues to clog up your newsfeed? Well, the reason that she won't go away is driven by principally two factors. The first is linked to her narcissism. Namely, she has scrambled to a particular position. She will not want to relinquish it because her narcissism tells her that she belongs in the A-list, that she belongs in the stratospheric position of being able to dictate to other people in terms of telling them how they should live their lives. That she is this philanthropic goddess that descends from the heavens, dispensing her lightning-like wisdom, which of course we all know is banal beigeness. Her narcissism tells her, you belong. You should be around all of these people. And it causes her to then engage with an agency to provide her with professional input to make this happen, and at the same time repeatedly drums home this mission. Be seen, be heard, be observed, be talked about. Because as I've mentioned to you before, love me, hate me, but never ignore me. Being ignored, not spoken about, is the death knell for the narcissist and is just as applicable to this one's wife. While many of you wish that she would just get on with her life in Monty's shit show and never be seen again, she is pathologically incapable of doing that. There are other narcissists that you don't hear from as much as her, because the way that their narcissism functions, it's different. They still pursue the prime aims just as she does, but they're able to do it in a way which is less grasping, less obvious. With her, because she lacks the natural abilities and doesn't have the talent of the greater or the ultra, she comes across as desperate, crass, basic. As I've told you so many times, her narcissism has managed to get her into this position which she doesn't really merit. But now she's here, it fights desperately to keep her in that position, rather than recognizing, do you know what? I'm a bit of an impostor, really. I've been over-promoted. I better slink away and go back to Nowheresville. She can't. She's had a taste of the good stuff. She's been up there. She's become internationally renowned, or infamous. And therefore, having got into this position, rather than think, well, it was good while it lasted and I had a good run, but you know what? I'm going to go for privacy and just stay away from everybody and enjoy the millions that I've made and bring up my family, etc., etc. No, she is not capable of doing so. And thus, she has to ensure that every little boring instance of what she does is recorded somewhere and that she pops up in the news. Just take, for example, that if you were to bang her name into the old Google search engine, you would receive 1.7 million results about her. In the news section, GB News tells us, this one's wife and Prince Harry's return to UK for Christmas ruled out after King Charles's eviction. That was launched 22 hours ago. The Mirror, Harry and this one's wife fragile friendships as pals won't cut ties with royals amid family feud. Harper's Bazaar, Prince Harry and Duchess, this one's wife, mark Remembrance Day in matching black suits. PR puff piece. Vogue, this one's wife's latest looks reflect the royal styling lessons she learned in London. PR puff piece. Daily Express, this one's wife less than keen as Prince Harry wants major change. Daily Record, this one's wife overcompensating for sulky Prince Harry for his inner anxiety shows. Hello, our Prince Harry and this one's wife joining King Charles at his private birthday party. PR puff piece. GB News, this one's wife held back by Prince Harry. Hard for this one's wife to push her own career. The Sun, moment Kate Middleton, this one's wife, and all these royal women breach royal protocol. That's just on the first page. PR puff pieces dotted amongst the other type. And the other type is this. The aspects of the media who recognise that while she is boring, she repeatedly commits gaffes and faux pas that must be reported on because there's such a ready audience to click on articles about her. The burgeoning industry that exists of people writing in blogs, writing on other social media platforms, creating videos, explaining and dissecting what she does, demonstrates that there is a ready market for people who are interested in her. Those that are interested in her because they support her are few in number and continue to dwindle. The much larger market is basically those that you must best be described as grudge viewers or grudge readers, namely, they don't like her, but they have invested quite a bit of time in watching her fall from grace, and they really revel in her failure. That might seem as quite a cruel position to take, but largely it's driven by a sense of justice for these people. That they've seen an individual who they didn't really have an opinion about initially and gave her every chance to prove herself, but then soon saw there was something not quite right about her behaviours, and thereafter formed the view that they didn't like what they saw. And increasingly, with each passing week and month, they saw more and more of her behaviours as she played the race card, engaged in victimhood, smeared people, was nasty, behaved in an entitled fashion. And thereafter, they wanted to see her fail. And this market exists, and the media knows it. They know that by reporting on the latest cock-up that she's engaged in, or reporting in a way that's favourable to her, will get under the skin of certain viewers and readers, causing them to click and comment. And so long as people do, this one's wife isn't going to go away. Thus, you are subjected to a double whammy in relation to this unflushable turd. On the one hand, her narcissism compels her to remain in the public limelight, despite the hypocrisy of saying that she doesn't want to, and means that she will continue, so long as she's able to get the money to do so, pump out PR puff pieces. Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, Cosmopolitan, The Mirror, and Hello, all being chief proponents of doing so. Alongside that, other forms of media know that there is very much a ready market for watching the train crash, which continues, and whilst she is in a downward spiral, she continues to circle the drain. And these media outlets know that people will want to watch, want to view. I continue, for instance, to create videos about her, utilising her as a vehicle for explaining narcissism because the videos are popular. People still want to know about what she's done, why she's done it, and many people want to watch the videos to revel in my sarcastic explanations of her behaviour and to enjoy my pithy put-downs of her. Why? Not because they're racist, not because they're misogynistic, they just don't like her because of the way that she has behaved. But so long as people continue to engage in that, and they will, because they've so far invested in this journey, they want to see it through to the conclusion, and because of her narcissism, which will not go away, it means that you have two forces which will compel her repeated appearance in the news and the media again and again and again. It will only be when people stop watching, people stop reading, people stop viewing, people stop commentating, that the media will realise there's no point writing about her anymore. People are not interested. There's no point because nobody's clicking on it. It's not worthwhile. She then would continue, of course, to try and push the PR puff pieces, but there'll come a point where she's likely to run out of the money to do so. And also, those individuals would recognise, or rather those outlets would recognise, that there's little to be gained in doing so because she has no popularity. And therefore, is it really worth trying to extract a fee for doing so when nobody's really paying any attention to it? This unflushable turd will only go away when people turn their backs and no longer have any interest in her, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. And thus, this one's wife, driven by her narcissism and a ready market for her failure, will not go away. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.